Good morning, brothers and sisters. It is 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on January the 14th. And last night, after we had our M flare and things kind of calmed back down a little bit, we had two C flares. We had a smaller C2, and we also had a C4.38. Now, definitely the M flare has the potential for more damage, but this one is on the backside of the sun. This guy is Earth facing, and there is plasma coming with it. Now the little one, we'll have to go and take a look and try and find the little one here in a minute. But the big one, I definitely already kind of took a pre-look, and it's working on some plasma with it. But let's go ahead and take a look over at spaceweatherlive.com, and we're going to take a look at our absorption rate. Here we are at spaceweatherpredictioncenter.noaa.gov. This is our absorption prediction chart. This right here is the first C class, so it did hit over South Africa. Did last a little bit longer than an hour. And then this is the first C flare. It happened at 11:55 UTC time. And as we advance, we can see that it kind of starts to calm down just a wee bit, and then she picks right back up again and goes into the C flare. First peek of it. Right. Yeah, I'd say right about there. So that's 13:35 UTC time. She just pops off into the C flare, and looks like we got 15 decibels worth of absorption out of that. That's a pretty decent event for C flare. Oh yeah. And it's not done yet. See that? So that event, actually, it's kind of an ongoing thing. Kind of popped down there. So from 12:38, and she just kind of stayed up in X-ray and then got bigger. About 13:32, 34. Yeah, that's a pretty long event. So yeah, all of Africa was in the blast of that. Got up into Europe. Northern end of England, or up into England, you guys got the very teeny snippets of it, so that's good for you guys. And then it got into South America. Look at that. And it looks like it's still in the process of popping, because we're at the end of it, and it looks like it was coming back up. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting ride. Came back over to spaceweatherlive.com to look at our solar flare, and as you can see, as it was coming down, it did start to go back up. Right here, you can see the little crotch, if you will, the little downfall on the rise right here. So, yeah, this will be interesting. Still on spaceweatherlive.com. Do you guys remember the other day that I was showing you guys this, where it showed those big three that were coming off the side, and all of a sudden they're gone, but it shows one coming off the right side. If we're looking facing the sun, it's coming off the right side. And I was like, I'm confused. Where did the other ones go, and why is this coming off the right side? I don't know, but something's about to make sense to you guys. I'm going to let you guys know how planned this is. See how this is ENLIL, the Anunnaki god that so many people worship, called Christianity as God? Yeah, that's ENLIL. Okay, notice how it's coming off the side here, off the right side of the sun. Watch this. Here's the sun over at Solar Dynamic Observatory. Watch this. Watch what happens right over here on the right side of the sun. Keep watching. Oh, there's a little plasma. Oh, is this going to make a liar out of me? Come on. Oh, look it. Oh, look it. Boom. Off the right side of the sun. Look at that. See that? That is plasma. And there's also a shock wave. You can see the shock wave with it. Look at that. Yeah. Off the right side of the sun. Now, how is it that it goes off today at 1 something in the morning, and yet they were predicting it yesterday? How could they do that? Because it's planned. They're shooting some form of energy up and at the sun, and they're causing it to do it. They already knew it was going to happen. Prove me wrong. We're here at European Space Agency. We can see they've still got the 3 coming off the backside here. They didn't show anything coming off the side, remember? But what they did do is they did push off the plasma arrival until tomorrow at 8 a.m. is when it's going to arrive, which is quite interesting. But at our current time, being the 14th, we are looking right around here, and it is definitely on the increase. It's going to continue to increase, and then right about 6 p.m. UTC time, that's 1800, 6 p.m., that's when it really starts to kick up, and it's going to ramp all the way up. So we are going to have a major plasma increase, and like I was saying, about 45, could even be 46 centimeters cubed. That's pretty high. That's a tall bugger there. So everybody be aware of that. Let's see if it shows the kick off the left side yet. It may not be updated yet. Come on, baby. And it's running a little slow. Now that's the other thing, folks. When you have coronal mass ejections and flares, it will cause radio blackouts. It will cause internet interruption, cell phone interruption. That's just that just kind of comes along with it. And it's not caught up yet. It doesn't show kicking off yet. Here we are over at Solar Dynamics Observatory. We are looking at 193 angstroms of light. The one we looked at earlier when I was showing it coming off the right side of the sun if we're facing it. Thank you, ENLIL, for the prediction model, because that's what it is. ENLIL is a prediction model. It predicted it. How did it predict it? They planned it. And that was on 171 angstroms, and we're looking at 193. So let's go ahead and take a peek. And we are going to see a really good solar tsunami come out of this. Take a look. Wham! Look at that shock wave. Did you guys see that? There, let me slow this down just a little bit. Slower once. Slower twice. Get us to the meat and potatoes. Now, this was a coronal hole that's throwing a lot of stuff at us, and this is very deep. Ooh. Did you guys see that? Let's see that again. Watch this. Oh, that's just gorgeous. Slow it down. Look at that. That is a solar tsunami. Now, this is the C flare. Okay? Now, keep something in mind. You've seen this from a C4.38? This up here was a M flare. Imagine if this was facing us. Yeah, exactly. Kind of make you go, whoa. So you can definitely see that there's plasma here, and that is going to be coming our direction. You can see it kind of expanding with the solar wave, or the shock wave. So it is definitely coming our direction, and because this solar coronal hole is facing us, it's going to push it right out in the way, and it's going to get right in the stream. It's going to push right out of us even faster. Now, like I was saying, this coronal hole is actually very deep. We can see it on multiple angstroms of light, which is what tells us that it is very deep. So over here is 304 angstroms of light, and we can clearly see the M flare from last night that I'm going to start us off at. And again, you can see the coronal hole here. Usually when you see the coronal hole on 304, that's kind of a good indicator that it is very deep. It is a deep rolling coronal hole. But let's go ahead and move forward. Oh, come on. Bloody thing. There we go. That was a small pop. That was a small C flare. There was a little bit of plasma with it. You can see it rolling out. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of it. And there be plasma. Lots and lots. Look at all of this. Lots and lots of plasma. Rolling out. Uh-oh. What happened here they didn't want us to see? Look at that. There's quite a bit of plasma with that bad boy. And it looks like we got another one popping off over here. Yes, and that's throwing plasma at us too. Did you see how that came out? It came out, but then it threw it sideways. See, that's why we got to always keep an eye on it, folks, because you never know which direction it's going to go. Look at that. It popped, and it blew the plasma that way, and it blew it that way. And that's, going around the limb where it's not going to be facing us. But this one, yeah, we're definitely going to be getting some plasma out of that, folks. It may not be a crap ton, but there's definitely plasma with it. See how it grabbed it and it's kind of flipping it up around? Right in the path of that coronal hole. Yeah. And we are going to start off again here. We are at 335 angstroms of light, as you can see. And we're going to start with our M flare. Look at that nice beam of light. Then we get the actual flare rise up to the surface. That actually lasted a little while, didn't it? Pretty interesting. I still have the suspicion that they're shooting us with something. Look at that. Look at this region here. This is just fabulous. There's definitely plasma. You can definitely see the plasma. This whole area, it's whipping it up. We're definitely going to get some plasma out of that. That's a wide C flare. Look at all the energy coming off the sides of it. That's a pretty decent C flare. And then, of course, we saw this guy kick off. I'm throwing it our direction. Yep, definitely have incoming. Now, here we are at 94 angstroms of light. And I'm going to roll us into our M flare. Very, very classic. It did throw some light off in both directions, so this one may not have been shot well, at least not from this direction. There's no way of showing exactly which direction it caused it, but we can definitely see the chatter marks. Probably I'll start calling them the chatter marks. Sounds good. And we can see the plasma coming off from behind on the back side there. And then we'll catch up to us, to the recent one. Ooh, back her up there, Cletus. There we go. We can clearly see the plasma here also. And again, here's our coronal hole. We've been able to see it on every angstrom of light so far, so it is very deep. And then the other one kicks off. Boop. Throwing the plasma around. We'll have to take a look at that later on this evening once there's more data available. And here we are looking at one of my favorites as an overlay. We have 335, 193, and 94. And those angstroms are overlaid. It allows us to see the multiple gases at one shot. And that was our M flare from last night. And we're about to see the C flare. There's the first little pop off, and here it comes. Yeah. See what I mean? See why it's one of my favorites? It really lights the plasma up for us. Really good and clear. There's definitely quite a bit there, and this is our coronal hole, so it's definitely blowing over in this direction, and it's going to be coming at us. So, no question. It's not in my mind's eye. Back over to Space Weather Prediction Center. We're going to take a look at LASCO C3 first. And we can definitely see a very, very sharp concentration right here of plasma. It is very well, well, that's weird. See that? It goes from 457 to 508. That's only a difference of 9 minutes. 8 into 11 minutes. Oh, interesting. Usually it's 12 minutes or more. Of course, we had a little friend there, but this is a very concentrated amount of plasma. We got a friend right there. Another signature trail right there. You can see all the little pops, the boom, 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 boom for the acceleration. And then we look at that. Uh-oh, 6:52, 7:23. We're missing 30 minutes. But that's as far as that goes. Let's check out LASCO C2. And for some of my newer viewers, uh-oh, look at that. Oop. Gosh dang it, I hate it when it does that. Look at that. Got our nice little UFO, got his head, his tail, and his wings. You can see that they're sweeping back this way. That's right, some of them look just like birds. Oh yeah, but we have more anomalies than that. Let me show you, folks. We'll go 2346. Look at all this stuff. All these fun little Borg cubes. For all you newbies who aren't really familiar with my channel, right here is a space station, or docking station, or a spaceport, where they kind of come, refuel, or whatever, tell their findings, I'm not sure. And we also got something going on the right side, and then we do have this ring. There's a nice ring right here. Maybe that's the portal, who knows. But, because if you notice, it stays right here. There's something there, and it doesn't ever move. So let's get back to where we were. We got friends all over. There's another signature trail, and here's our flare. It is pretty concentrated into a very small, fine area, but we also lose some time here. Where was that gap at? Oh, we got friends here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, got some friends. Oh, there we go. Missing a little bit of data there.
Don't know why that would have